And thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. President Trump's Twitter attack on some of the media and their response has dominated headlines in recent days. But Senate Republicans are still pushing ahead with a key element of the president's campaign agenda, repealing and replacing Obamacare. Amber Strong brings us the story now from Washington.
Despite last week's setback, Senate Republicans are working on a plan to replace President Obama's Affordable Care Act. Some GOP senators say one option is to repeal Obamacare now while they work to come up with a replacement.
We don't repeal the regulations. We don't repeal the subsidies. Now there are Republicans getting so weak-kneed they're saying, oh, we're afraid to repeal the taxes. What happened to these people? They all were for repealing Obamacare.
President Trump agreed, tweeting, "If Republican senators are unable to pass what they are working on now, they should immediately repeal and then replace at a later date." But the president's agenda was overshadowed by his ongoing smackdown of the media. On Sunday, Trump tweeted this video of an old WWE match. In it, the president takes down a figure with a CNN logo. Now many are calling the president's tweet incendiary, with some in the media saying it incites violence against reporters, and congressional critics going after him as well, like these Democrats. California Congressman Adam Schiff at POTUS mock video of him attacking press even after a GOP candidate did exactly that. Where will his downward spiral take us? And Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen, the modern mode of communication is not the issue. It's the crude, false, and unpresidential content. But a member of the Trump administration, Homeland Security Advisor Tom Bossert, disagrees.
I think that no one would perceive that as a threat. I hope they don't.
The president addressed his ongoing battles with the media in a speech honoring veterans Saturday.
Fake media is trying to silence us, but we will not let them.
He then pointed out his administration's strides when it comes to reform within the VA, and he spoke to the importance of faith in American history.
And above all else, we know this. In America, we don't worship government, we worship God.
Looking ahead, the president has a very important week as he readies for a long-awaited meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin. The two are set to meet at the G20 summit in Germany later this week. Amber Strong reporting for CBN News in Washington.
CNN has responded to the president's tweet. A spokesperson released a statement saying it's a sad day when the president of the United States encourages violence against reporters. Trump later tweeted, "The dishonest media will never keep us from accomplishing our objectives on behalf of our great American people." The White House has not responded to questions about the tweet. North Korea and its nuclear threat were a major part of a conversation between the president and the leaders of China and Japan. President Trump spoke with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and the president of China, Xi Jinping. They reaffirmed a commitment between the three nations to deal with North Korea. The president reminded China of North Korea's nuclear and ballistic missile programs. He also turned the conversation to seeking a more balanced trade relationship with America. The three countries will meet soon at the G20 summit in Germany. Iraqi forces are close to a full victory in taking back Mosul, but ISIS is striking back. Suicide bombings killed at least 15 people in the latest attacks on Monday. Two women suicide bombers hid among civilians and targeted Iraqi troops, killing one soldier and wounding several others. A suicide bomber dressed in a woman's robe and killed 14 people Sunday evening at a refugee camp. Using women as target soldiers appears to be the militants' latest tactic. The U.S. offensive to retake Mosul is in its 9th month. A Bronx hospital doctor who was the apparent target of the shooter at the hospital Friday wasn't even there. Dr. Harmon Ahmed is baffled and says he has no idea why Dr. Henry Bello would want to kill him. He also told the New York Post he wasn't the only person Bello had problems with. He says Bello was fired after so many complaints about trouble with so many members of the hospital staff. Bello killed 32-year-old Dr. Tracy Sinyi Tam, who was working as a favor to someone else. He also shot and injured 6 others before killing himself. Amidst the chaos of an active shooter situation, being prepared is key for law enforcement. Officers have to make a seamless, swift, and effective decision in order to save lives. As CBN's national security correspondent Eric Rosales shows us, a new virtual training program is now available to first responders, thanks to the Department of Homeland Security.
It may look and feel like the latest video game.
315, copy a call, 314 backup, shots fired.
But this is not a game. It's the latest virtual training platform, and it can now be used by first responders across the country. First responders like law enforcement and fire departments who could one day face an active shooter situation. The program is called EDGE, which stands for Enhanced Dynamic Geosocial Environment. It allows users to role play using their specially designed avatar, carrying the same equipment and using the same tactics they are familiar with. The situations users face in training are detailed and look real. From active shooters armed with Molotov cocktails in a 26-story hotel to an active shooter inside a large school. Unlike a live field exercise, this virtual training allows the users to repeat the scenario over and over again, allowing the first responders to be able to practice and strategize different ways of handling the same situation. The program was developed by the Department of Homeland Security Science and Technology in partnership with the U.S. Department Research Lab.
All you need is internet access and a computer, so you can train sitting at your own desk.
The program allows either one agency to train its staff or multiple agencies like fire and police to train together, such as police protecting firefighters and others, while fire crews battle the blaze and medical personnel help out the victims.
It could potentially help with the coordinated response between fire and EMS and law enforcement together, as we don't have a chance to put these large-scale operations together and work them in real life.
The best part of it all, it's free of charge to all first responder agencies, and it can be modified to meet a department's specific needs. Eric Rosales, CBN News, Washington.
Congressional Republicans have moved to stop the IRS from enforcing a rule that prevents pastors or churches from endorsing political candidates. House Republicans quietly included a provision in a sweeping spending bill that would deny the IRS the money to enforce the 63-year-old rule, which is known as the Johnson Amendment. Some Democrats say the measure comes too close to mixing church and state, but Republicans say the IRS rule is enforced unevenly. They say some churches in Democratic areas are openly supportive of political candidates, even allowing some to speak from the pulpits, while some conservative churches try to avoid even the appearance of being political. The measure will be considered by the Appropriations Committee after Congress's recess for the 4th of July. The city of Pensacola, Florida has decided to fight to keep an historical cross from being torn down. The Bayview Park Cross was first erected in 1941 on the direction of President Franklin D. Roosevelt as part of an Easter sunrise service. But a federal court ordered the 34-foot monument removed after a lawsuit claimed the cross violated the Constitution and was offensive to non-Christians. And hundreds of Pensacola residents who want to see the massive cross stay put have now rallied around it, and they did that last week.
Almost annually, crosses were erected at this site. Sunrise services were held here. Thousands of people participated, and the military also participated in terms of the chaplains giving the message, bands playing and so forth. So in one form or another, it has been at this location since 1941. Great historical significance, showing that even our federal government at one time was erecting crosses on public property.
Pensacola's Mayor Ashton Hayward told The Pulse the Constitution does not require us to erase our history just because part of that history is religious. The city has retained the legal service of the Washington, D.C.-based Beckett Fund for Religious Liberty. It has agreed to take on the city's appeal at no charge. Still to come here on CBN NewsWatch, there's pressure to create the Pinterest dream wedding. See how the more money couples spend on their weddings, the more likely they end up divorced. We've got the story coming up after this. These days, couples are spending nearly twice as much on weddings as they did 10 years ago. Some money experts and even pastors find the trend troubling. Heather Sells breaks down the reasons why.
For most brides, it starts with this: thousands of pictures and ideas to help plan the perfect wedding.
It's definitely a lot of pressure.
Corey Bateman got married last summer and says she was well aware of the challenge in meeting expectations set by social media.
I think weddings are just a much bigger deal than they ever used to be. It's not as much as, oh, it's two people getting married. It's what kind of party are you going to throw?
And Bateman isn't alone in her feelings.
More than 1/3 of couples feel pressure from the media to have that perfect wedding. It may be why the average bride and groom spend $28,000 compared to just $16,000 10 years ago.
Or why they delay walking down the aisle.
I am seeing engagements being greatly prolonged. I'm seeing people searching for the perfect venue, for the perfect time of year, for the perfect colors.
Pastor Benjamin Verbacek has written about the pressures couples face to create what he calls the Pinterest dream wedding. It's a theme that other pastors have picked up on as well. The goal, help Christian couples refocus and think about the ultimate purpose of their wedding and marriage.
So culturally, I think right now we're at a place where our identity is not so much looking upward to God and who He says we are in the gospel, the good news that we're His sons and daughters in Christ, but rather who we posture ourselves as in social media.
And research helps back up the idea of a frugal wedding. Economists have found couples going the $20,000 or more route divorce more than those who spend less than $10,000. If you want to go big, social scientists recommend going with more family and friends, not necessarily more money. They believe it can increase your chance of a happy marriage. Sociologist Brad Wilcox calls it the big fat Greek wedding factor.
So having your wedding, in a relatively cheap venue, maybe a church hall, for instance, or something else, but with a lot of your friends and family members there, seems to be the formula when it comes to the ceremony itself for greater marital quality.
Nikki Crystal and her fiance followed this so-called formula without knowing it existed.
I am one of 5. My mom is one of 6. Most of my family lives close by, and so I grew up with just a lot of people around, and I couldn't imagine having something small.
Crystal, however, also faced a tight budget.
My parents helped a lot, and they helped where they could, but I also didn't want to be in debt after I got married.
So the couple cut corners. They picked a cheap venue, hired a photographer for just half a day, and bought wholesale flowers. That kind of thrifty thinking also inspired Casey Capra, who says her mom taught her about stewardship. Together, they made table centerpieces and other decorations.
There was a lot of satisfaction in looking back at things you had created and done and known that you hadn't even spent a lot of money on it.
For their large wedding, Corey Bateman and her fiancé used their network of friends and family to help keep costs down while creating memories. Thanks to volunteers, they didn't have to hire musicians, a florist, or a wedding planner.
Even after the whole day, I had people say to me, we really loved how your wedding was just so family-oriented. I was like, well, what do you mean by that? I'm like, well, we just, everyone was involved. It just seemed like there were a lot of people that care about you guys, that helped, and that were having, just a great time and wanted to be a part.
That community support, says Wilcox, can extend beyond the wedding day and help the couple weather the seasons of life. In the meantime, Pastor Benjamin is committed to help steer couples away from the Pinterest perfect event.
I think they're relieved to have someone telling them, hey, you don't have to make it about these things. The value of your wedding is not on how much you spent on it or how many people post on Instagram during the reception. The value is that you love each other, that God loves you, and it was a Christian wedding.
Heather Sells, CBN News.
It's a partnership between civic leaders, law enforcement, and even members of the NFL. Their goal is to show young people the time for change is now. We'll take you inside this unique ministry next. A Virginia pastor believes powerful examples of leadership can help young people stay out of trouble. So he's building a team of city leaders, police, and even members of the NFL. Charlene Aaron shows us how the partnership is making a difference.
James Risper is passionate about saving young people from the streets. The 58-year-old pastor of God's Assemblage of Faith Church recently wore a prison jumpsuit to illustrate the consequences of bad decisions.
It's easy to look at, but it's hard to wear. I wore this.
His overall message to these young people, the time for change is now. Pastor Risper's nonprofit organization is called Am I My Brother's Keeper, which aims to mentor and help youth make healthy decisions in life.
I picked up that name because it's biblical. What it's about is getting the young people to understand that there's a way out of all situations.
Risper knows what it's like to take the wrong path. That's because he grew up in the same community he's trying to reach. His bad decisions led to drug addiction and jail. In 2006, his son was shot and killed. The pastor now wants to help young people avoid similar pitfalls.
I came through homelessness and drugs and everything, so what I'm doing now is giving back some of the things that God gave me.
Risper and his fiancée, Terry Brinson, hope to open a community youth center, offering education services and helping kids dealing with gang violence, drugs, and bullying.
We just want to offer a full scale of everything that's pertaining to life that would help to make your life more complete and better.
His vision is spreading. Former Green Bay Packer Aaron Rouse spoke recently at Risper's annual community event. Rouse also grew up here and wants to show success can be attained.
And anytime, someone like myself is able to make it out, is vitally important that I come back and give these kids and the youth a chance to see that, hey, he has his college degree, he went to the pros, he's educated, now he has a career, which was founded in education.
Virginia Beach Mayor Will Sessoms highlighted the need for government to partner with groups like Am I My Brother's Keeper.
The city cannot do everything on its own, but when it partners with faith-based organizations and nonprofit organizations, those partnerships are terrific. And when we're partnered together, making things happen, get out of our way.
Risper also seeks to improve young people's negative perception of law enforcement.
Most of the police are not like the ones that we have seen. Most of them are out there to serve and protect, but our youth catch on by what they hear others saying. And whenever police kill or shoot somebody, usually it is a black man, but at the same token, they don't know the whole story.
Officers credit Risper and other efforts like this for trying to make their work easier.
He helps us with recruiting, which we really need. He helps us with understanding. So the partnership's important.
Young people attending the awareness program say it opened their eyes.
As a teenager, I'm like, I can't wait to get out the house. But in seeing what's out there, it's like, I can stay a little bit longer.
These days, it's a lot of shootings and stuff. Yeah, and so I stay out the streets and in church more.
Christine Davis lost a friend to gun violence.
He was at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. And as a teenager, that's really hard for somebody to cope with that.
Parents say the event helped them understand the problems their kids face.
They need to be aware of the things that's, plaguing our community. And I'm just happy that they had the opportunity to experience the wonderful skits and the speakers. And, I believe that it's going to empower them and make them better and make the parents better as well.
Something this ex-offender says is needed now more than ever. Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
Strong leadership making a difference. Stay with us. There's much more of CBN NewsWatch straight ahead. We'll be right back. Operation Blessing is helping people in a small village of Peru to get medical care. The village of San Geronimo Olagachi is high in the mountains, and it takes families hours to get to health centers. Operation Blessing renovated a building in their own village to provide the care these families need. They hired a nurse and will continue to sponsor a permanent health clinic in the area. A kitchen, new water system, and medicine are also being provided to give them proper nutrition and other basic needs. Time now for your Monday motivation. This is a word I pray will jumpstart your week. Consider this. You have two choices when faced with trouble. You can worry or you can worship. The choice is yours, but remember, you were not created to worry. With that word, make this a marvelous Monday and a worry-free week. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about always at cbnnews.com. We'd love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. You can also talk to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Make this a marvelous Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.